Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Transformation Time. Every Thursday, I host an episode of either Transformation Time or Behind the Scenes. My name is Diana Lizrazo, and today's guest speaker is Evelyn Santos. Now, before we get started, I want to share some exciting news with you. I have a social networking platform for the real estate investing industry. So if you're an investor, if you're a mentor, or you're a professional working in the real estate investing industry, then this is the platform for you. You get to build credibility, you get to build trust, and you become more searchable. People can actually find you. And on top of that, you get to communicate, share, and just be able to learn from everyone else. Something that you definitely want to be a part of. Now back to the show. On Transformation Time, our guest speakers are real estate investors, and they're here to help you by sharing their personal development journeys and the mindset shifts they've gone through. My God, I can't speak today. So if you guys want to hear what Evelyn has to say, let's give her some thumbs up, let's give her some love, let's get some fire going, and let's get her on the stage. And hopefully, I think it's coming on. Hello, hello. Just waiting for Evelyn to come on. I'm accepting it, but for some reason, it's not. I just called, so usually that means it works. Evelyn, I just sent you a message, an invite. See if you receive it. Let's see. See if we can get her on and get this started. While we wait for Evelyn to come on, uh, tell me, what are you guys up to today? Oh, I don't see now. I just don't see you. That's weird. But okay, while I wait, I'm not sure what's going on. But let's see if Evelyn can see my message. But while I wait oh, there we go. It's just a little delayed.
Hey, sorry.
No worries. I feel like I always have problems with Instagram. I feel like with everyone, it's like 20 times accepting it.
All right. So at least we got here. It's the end of the day. We've had a heck of a day today, but it is what it is every day. And we just take it in strides and try to do the best that we can, right? So, today
100%.
was quite the whirlwind for me, but just like always, I guess in the past, when I first got started in my career, I used to get overwhelmed with things, but now it's kind of like you just roll with the punches and you get used to, like you never know what's going to happen. I even have this like little pop-up, video call set that I can literally be anywhere, anytime and have a video call.
That's amazing. And I totally agree with you. I think it's also, we just like learn how to deal with certain situations. Like you're in the industry, like you said, you're doing things, and probably like back in the day, something that you would think at that time was so stressful, you'd probably like crying about it, just stressing about it. And now it's just kind of like, okay, how do we just like, let's get to business. How do we get this done? How do we solve this problem? And let's move forward?
Yeah,
But
and
then
you
we're
always
dealing with
find a
obviously bigger
solution, right?
challenges,
Whether
right?
it's in business, whether it's in life. I actually travel quite a bit. I'm always on the road, so I've learned to take phone calls from my car, phone calls on the go like this, and it's been an interesting path, from when I started and getting to this point now, where I have multiple simultaneous businesses running at the same time. So you literally have to learn to pivot in a moment's notice, and that's something that I've
100%.
acquired over time.
Awesome. And I know we've kind of gotten started, but let's tell the viewers, who is Evelyn? How are you involved in the real estate investing industry, and anything else you'd like to share about yourself?
Sure, no problem. So, well, I got started in real estate about 10 years ago now. Sometimes I forget that it's been 2 years, and I kind of skipped over COVID and forgot that that ever happened. So, you know, so about 10 years ago now, I started my path into real estate as a real estate agent. And then, it just simultaneously progressed from my previous industry, which was business development and, hospitality. So I've always kind of had to learn how to pivot with the moments, you know, that happen day to day, because when you're in the hospitality industry, you're serving other people and you're catering to their needs, and you basically have to find the best way to make them feel absolutely amazing. And sometimes that might mean that you have to try things in a different way than you thought originally where you would have to do, but sometimes, that difference, that point of difference, is what keeps people coming back. And that's how I grew my business, and I was able to serve a lot of different people in the commercial. I first started actually with the luxury market, and that was really interesting, where I got to work with very beautiful real estate properties. But then I pivoted into the commercial industry because I found that aligned with me much better, having knowledge in business development and in hospitality in terms of serving people at a very high level, in a very high caliber. Building relationships with other people has always been my point of difference in terms of the way that I do business. I'm not a person that will have all the posters of my face everywhere, but definitely I like to take the time to get to know each and every person in a more deeper level. And I pride myself doing that, not just with my clients, but also with my business partner, anybody else that I'm involved in my day to day. I find that having a personal relationship and in a, getting more in depth and in an in-depth connection, a more solidified connection, it helps to really expand your visions together and your energies, right? Like the flow of energy is always very important for me. So yeah, I got into commercial real estate, and after that, the rest is history. I got into developments and, acquiring properties for investments and investors, both for myself and for my clients. And it just, each and every day, I really, sometimes I know that the universe is aligning in every way, because I always meet the right people, to allow me to make these amazing teams that come together. And at the same time, the opportunities just keep on flowing. They just keep on coming without even like, sometimes I'm not even looking for anything particular, but the things just kind of land on my lap. And after that, the rest is history. And then you just have to learn how to find a common ground, and how to build that team, and what it is that you have the vision for, and where you want to go with it, and what your goal is.
I love it. I love it.
Mhm.
And basically, one of, I think, your probably strongest skill, as you said, is your people skills. You're wanting to, and like you're saying, really you love going and meeting people in person.
Mhm.
Is it, and I'm assuming that's probably something innate. That was probably you were born with it, I'm assuming. Was that something you were born with it and you just like love to be friends with everyone? Or is that something you had to build?
No, I've always been very friendly, even as a young child. Like I literally knew everybody's name in the class, and I was friends with everyone, both in elementary school and in high school, even in during those awkward years when everybody kind of feels like, oh my God, I don't know who they are, I don't want to hang out with them, and blah blah blah, and all the things that happen during our teenage years with all the hormones, and you're just not sure who to talk to and who to trust and all of that. I've always managed to get along with everyone. When I say everyone, everyone in my high school was from different walks of life, from different types of nationalities. I myself come from the Latin culture. So, I really jived well with the Latino community in my high school. However, I got along with everyone. I had friends everywhere, and I knew everybody. And sometimes I would even have people cheering for me because, they were like really excited for me to be competing somewhere. So I've always kind of had that sort of, I guess, magic where people just get drawn to me. And I love to make people feel good. I love to have people around me all the time, and just connecting with them, getting to know them, and seeing how our synergies align and our energies are similar, maybe our goals align, because sometimes it doesn't happen right away. Sometimes it takes a couple of meetings because there is
Even
some
more
people who are a
than
little
a
bit,
couple of meetings, but totally. And just
yeah.
before you start, I just want to give Jay a little shout out. He says Evelyn is a powerhouse, and when it comes to building social capital, so I just wanted to tribute to both of you, Jay and
You.
you.
Thank you, Jay Deep. I appreciate you. And I recently met Jay Deep, and he's also a realtor. And he's really coming about, and I see him at all the events. So he's really taking some of my advices to heart about networking and connecting with both investors and other realtors, because it's all about the mind of abundance rather than scarcity. Because even though him and I are both realtors, and I also know a lot of other realtors, that I'm really great friends with. It does not mean that, we have to feel like, we're competition. To me, being a realtor, there's a lot of collaboration that needs to happen in order to get the deals done, especially the size of deals that I'm working on right now. Like just today, I came from a negotiation for a deal that's like $50 million. Like that's a walk in the park for me each and every day. So, there's realtors out there that think, oh, it's my listing and da da da. I'm not that person. I'm the person, you tell me that you want to come and see the property that I have off market. I'm more than happy to share that with you. And in terms of real estate investors, if they want to bring other real estate investors and try to do a JV, try to find out how they can do a VTB, to be able to acquire the property, or even if they need advice on financing, like my friend Gohar, who's just came online right now. Hi, Gohar. She's a mortgage broker, and, they have all of the connections, so having all of the people that I know as a community, and then being able to provide um, options for people, whether it's a mortgage broker in the residential world, whether it's a mortgage broker in the commercial world, whether it's consulting on the level of of developments, or whether you need help figuring out what type of business you want to get into, because of my business development background. I have multiple different franchises and different businesses that are for sale, that are available. And people always come to me and they say, oh, I want to start a business, but I don't know where to start. Well, the first step is to figure out what it is that you are passionate about. Because I think in any business, if you're going to be the owner and the operator, you have to have passion for what you're doing. If you don't have passion for what you're doing, it's just another job. So I say, if you're going to be an entrepreneur, do something that wakes you up every morning and gives you that motivation to just go and keep on going till the wee hours of the night when it's dark outside like this, and you're still excited about what's going to happen for the rest of the evening, because you know that something great is going to happen at the end of the day and then the beginning of the next day. So it's all an opportunity. I'm always, very grateful, and I always like to do a lot of what you say, gratitude. I like to do meditations for visualization of the things that I have in my mind that I want to acquire. Right now, I'm in the process of expanding my land development company, not just in Canada, but across the US, and possibly, internationally. So this is a vision. I'm a big visionary on a global scale. And this is what I like to do. I like to bring other people on the table. I like them to be, a part of the team. And I like them to, just grow together. There's more than enough for everyone. It's not just about, you know, the one project, because one project can come and go, but multiple projects can be down the line. So it's always important to connect with your partners, with your fellow investors, and make that connection, because they might invest with you today, but if you keep that relationship going, they can invest with you tomorrow and the next day and the next year and the year after that. So for
Mhm.
me, it's all about that. And creating those opportunities, they're invaluable. You really have to put your best foot forward, and genuinely care about everybody, and everybody eats at the table. That's the most
Mhm.
important thing.
I love that. And that's a very good skill to have, talking about that you see things in such a big picture, that you understand the importance of collaboration. You understand that it's like No, and if you want to go big, it's not that one person going to the top. It's actually like a group of people moving and pushing each other together. And that's something even I've noticed with you that it's like your thoughts are just like massive, you know? Like you are definitely a global thinker. You are very much like a big thinker.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
Not just thinker, but I like to connect with people on a world level, not just, I don't think about my local community. So when people always say, "Oh, what area do you service as a realtor or as a broker?" I'm like, I service everywhere because I have connections in all areas. It's not just limited to my local community because I live in Hamilton. Mind you, I do have quite a bit in Hamilton because I just happen to live here. But, you ask me for anything in any place in Canada or in the US, I can definitely get you connected to that. It's not a problem because there's always somebody that I know and I trust that can guide you through what you need.
it's amazing. Now, during all the changes you've gone through, because you also, even before real estate, like you had your own businesses too, right? You had businesses. So you've gone through evolutions.
Mhm.
And I'm curious on these evolutions, what were your biggest mindset shifts, your biggest learning experiences going into each area?
Well, I'll tell you, I've been through a lot. As a young child, I grew up in a family that was an immigrant family. When we came to Canada, we didn't really have much. My parents were very hardworking. They still are to this day, but they did not have the mentality of business. So for me, I always noticed how hard my parents were working and how much struggle they had as new immigrants to adapt to a new country. So for me, that motivated me to want to be more kind of like curious about what else is out there, what other world is out there. And I got lucky enough that at a young age I did get married young to a very knowledgeable entrepreneur that we traveled 58 countries actually
Oh,
together. And that in itself as an experience allowed me to open up my mindset. It allowed me to open up just a whole new world of opportunities and possibilities because I saw each and every culture, how they live, how they do business, what their mindset is, what their religions are. And I took a little bit from everybody and decided that, you know what? I don't think anybody's necessarily right or wrong. I think there's good things in every single culture and every single religion out there that could be used in a positive way by me in my life and learn from everyone out there.
mhm,
So definitely
mhm,
something that I took to heart was the experience of travel and experience of learning from so many different cultures, people, and religions. And that was a mind shift for me because I was brought up in kind of like a cookie cutter traditional, Latin family with, Catholic beliefs and that's all I knew growing up. But as soon as I hit adulthood, I was curious to find out more. And that's exactly
mhm.
what I did by traveling, by getting involved in the businesses with my ex-husband. We went from having a company that was, this big to a entire publicly traded company that has been an absolute, whirlwind of learning for me because I went from not knowing anything about business to, helping to open up a publicly traded company on the stock exchange, which was, a huge undertaking, a lot of travel, a lot of mergers, a lot of negotiations, a lot of planning, and a lot of mindset shifts because when you learn that you need to pivot and that you need to have a focus, but you have to be willing to pivot at the same time, and not be so completely stringent on working within the box. I have learned, and the thing I pride myself is I like to work outside the box. I like to find all the other ways around and through the box and in between the box that I can go through in order to accomplish my goals. Because
Wow.
sometimes that box is what limits you to only have the vision of what you see in that
Yeah.
box. I like to look at the whole world in a whole.
Mhm.
because
That's
then that
amazing.
allows you
And
to have more
those are
fun.
great points that you've made because I think the same thing. Same thing. I've not traveled as many places as you have, but I've traveled quite a bit. And what you said even hit home to me because that's something that same thing. I actually love traveling to get to know how they think, why they think what they think, and just understanding those mentalities behind them. And like you said, you kind of like just pick the things that make sense to you, the ones that work, your learning experiences from them. And now it makes sense why you have such a big like a big like you're just like a big thinker because you've had so many experiences. I just wanted to also give a shout out to Get Social with Alex. She's amazing. She said two beautiful ladies.
Oh, thank
He's
you.
also a
Thank you,
very
Alex.
beautiful
We love you
lady
too.
too.
And
And
I
just
also
give
wanted to do a
also
shout out to
I
Naran, who just joined
was
us on
gonna
the
say,
call.
yeah,
And Naran's a wonderful leadership coach as well. So, I'm always inspired in terms of leadership as well. About people who really have a whole different level of mindset. They've been exposed to everything, they've seen everything, they've gone through the good, the bad, and the ugly. And sometimes the ugly can get really, really ugly. And being able to see the light at the end of the tunnel when you get into those ugly situations is utterly important, because I'll tell you, um, just like they say that some of these people that have gone through, that are billionaires right now, have gone through shifts in their life where they were on top and then they were like literally eating out of a box on the street. I myself have gone through a similar, situation in my life where I was on top. I was traveling the world, 58 countries, and then vroom, I was literally
you're like, where
like,
am I?
I lost everything and I had to rebuild from that. And that's what it took for me to get to where I am today. It was the mind shift, it was the experience, it was taking the suffering, the pain into strength.
Hmm.
That's
I
the
love
only
that.
way
That's
to
so,
learn.
sorry, go on.
Yeah, that was the only way to learn. Like
Mm.
when you take the pain and turn it into strength, and you turn it into your, one of your whys. Like why? Because of your family, because of all the pain that you went through, you can just overcome all of it, and you can become that much stronger each time, reinventing yourself as you go along the way.
I love that. And it's mindset is so important, like you said, because basically you're just trying to find the good in everything that happens. Doesn't matter if it's bad or good. It's just like keeping that positive mindset's really helpful to pushing forward. Because I'm sure if you hit the rock bottom and were just didn't want to do anything about it, you wouldn't be where you are. You wouldn't have probably gotten all these things that you are getting. That perseverance is probably another thing that you have, I'm assuming too, because a lot of times people have to have perseverance. Also perseverance and or the clarity actually. Maybe yours was just that clarity of knowing what you wanted because you are like a person that's very good at visualizing that you're probably like, this is not happening again. Especially I feel like when you've been somewhere, you know what it is. You
So
like
you could
you would
say
I don't know want to be where you are and
yeah.
move back.
So put it this way, I lived a life of absolute luxury. So I went from that to living bare minimum, like to the point where I needed help. So going from that to way down here in a matter of like a couple of years, like 10 years or whatever it was. And then building my way back up. It took another 10 years to build myself back up from zero. But it takes that in order to learn, in order to pivot, in order to learn to be able to, pivot and reinvent yourself and be the person, like the future you that you want to be. Always living in that moment and that feeling every day is what you need in order to get to it, to accomplish your goal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I
Hmm.
love that.
Hmm.
That's amazing to hear. And like I said, the perseverance, because you said it took you 10 years to get
Hmm.
back. So you didn't stop, you kept on going, you knew what you wanted. And I'm sure now you have your big goals um, for your future. So I'm curious to hear if you want to share that 5, 10 year goal, the big goals that you have, or could be longer depending. And and what changes are you making right now to get to those big goals? Because like you said, you are going to, with that, you're going to be transforming to someone else or changing things.
Yes. Well, I wouldn't say transforming to someone else now. I'm living in that now every day. And when I speak and when I do and I I take actions as that person that I am being now, for the sake of my future. And yes, I have global expansion goals. It is not small. I am looking to take over the world. I know it sounds crazy, but literally those are my plans. So absolutely something that I can accomplish based on some of the opportunities that I'm currently entertaining and looking at. It is not, for the faint of heart, but it's definitely something that I know that I can accomplish in the coming years. And I'm super excited about the next 5 years because I am taking the steps right now to line up the teams and the right partners to make that happen for the next 5 years, and the accomplishments that we're all looking jointly to, to succeed together in the goals that we're aligned with.
Awesome.
So definitely something I'm doing right now. I just can't talk about it in full detail, but let's just say that all the details are being certified and connected, and they will be a realized, team very, very shortly.
That's amazing. I just want to give another shout out to Rosie. She says, always great to chat with you, Evelyn. That's
Yes.
awesome.
Oh, thank you,
And
Rosie.
so
I
you were
appreciate you,
saying,
Rosie.
so you were
She's a,
saying that, and so, yeah, so you are being that person right now. So who is that person then you're being that I get then was different to before you started thinking of that goal?
well, uh, before my goal was just to operate a business or multiple business. Uh, I did not have the mindset of taking over the world. This is a new goal of mine. It's not enough to just, you know, do the things in Ontario or do the things in Canada or, even expanding myself over to the US. I want to go worldwide. I want to go all over Latin America. I want to go, to Europe, to Asia, to India, to, all the places. Like I want to expand worldwide. And I know that with the new connections and the new partners that I have coming on board, we're going to do it and it's going to happen. And, mark my words today. I don't know what date it is today. Is the 8th of February of 2024. In 5 years, we'll see where that's going to take us. And you'll see, because I am certain,
You're on a
you know,
mission.
yeah, I'm on a
And I'd be
mission and
curious, and a mission end?
and a mission and I'm focused on it. So I know that it's going to happen. Yes.
So I'm curious. Oh no, I just slipped my mind what I was gonna ask you.
Yeah. Right.
Well, that's okay. But so with these goals that you have, yeah, it'll be so much fun to hear, to see. And usually, what I've noticed also is, let's say if that big goal is a 5 or 10 year goal, I don't know about you, but I'm curious if it'll come sooner than you expect.
It could very well, if certain things line up that I already have under negotiations. And Danusha, I'm right there with you. Geo independent. Yes, absolutely. Come on over. Let's do it. I want to be able to work from anywhere in the world. My idea is to take these Zoom calls from, I don't know, maybe Italy, maybe Argentina, maybe Panama, maybe, Miami, wherever, I am in that specific moment, being able to do what I need to do, but still being able to turn around and go to the beach or go work out. And even right now, as we speak, some of my business meetings, I try not to have them in an office because I find that boring and I find it constricting. So what do? I like to incorporate wellness as well. And I like to incorporate a little bit of pleasure. So what do? I invite people to come with me to my resort gym. We work out. We'll go to the jacuzzis. We'll go to the saunas, to the steam rooms, and we'll chat while we're sitting in the jacuzzi. I love it. I love it. It's the best. Incorporating wellness into your everyday life keeps you young. And yes, as Danusha does each and every day, wellness keeps you young. It keeps you going, and it makes you feel like you're 20 every day.
I, I hear you, yeah. But and why not, like you said, incorporate the two, it's just like do the things that make you feel amazing and talk to the people that make you feel amazing, and we all bring each other up. I love it.
Exactly.
Any final words you like to share with the viewers
Hmm.
before we get going?
Oh, absolutely. There's something that I read in a book recently that, well, I know for sure it was very true for me, that sometimes your desire is more greater than the fear in investing in yourself. I know that a few years ago, I was fearful of investing in myself, but then I realized that investing in myself by doing personal development and joining masterminds and taking courses and knowledge transfer is absolutely the only way to scale. It's the only way to expand, and it's the only way that you're going to grow to that level where it's not just going to be, one or two or three or four. It's going to be worldwide. That's the only way you can do it, by collaboration, by partnerships, by having enough opportunity to trust, being open to trusting. Because if you're the type of person who's a perfectionist, and I think one of my friends, I think it was Danielle Chason, said something along the lines of, if it's 80% done, it's done. But if you're a perfectionist and you want it done 100%, you're always going to want to do it yourself, and you're never going to expand. So it's better to get done than not to be.
100%.
So
Totally agree. Evelyn, thank you so much. It was so fun to chat with you. It was so fun to hear your story. And if you guys love what you heard from Evelyn, she's going to be tagged on here so you'll be able to follow her and see what she's up to these days. See what those projects are. See where she's going globally. And if you love my shows and you want to see what I'm up to these days, then definitely follow me too. Thank you, Evelyn. It was so good to chat with you.
thanks, Diana. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Take care.
Bye, everyone. We'll see you in
Bye.
the next episode.
You too.
Bye.